Good morning. It's Tuesday, May 14th, and I'm out here early this morning checking a few hives. I peeked in a couple of hives last night at my yard, and they were a little fuller than I expected them to be. So I'm a little worried that some of these hives behind me are going to be too full and needing some extra space. And that surprises me because the last couple of weeks since I've added these supers, we've not really had that great of weather. There's things blooming, but we've had some really cold and windy weather, and I'm not sure how much time the bees have really been able to get out and forage, but nonetheless, that hive at my house was much fuller than I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to get into these hives real quick, check them, make sure there's plenty of room on them. I've got one hive here. He's kind of this little one right here. It was supposed to be raising a queen. She should have a queen by now, and if not, then I've got a nook here in the back of my truck that I'm gonna drop on that hive and get it going again. If they have raised a queen and she's looking good, then I'll probably just leave her, and I may trade out one of these other hives, maybe this one right behind me, or I may just set up that nook as its own hive. That's the plan for the day. I need to kind of get in and get out as quick as I can, so not sure what I'm going to see. I'm not going to spend a ton of time checking them. Just a quick peek, make sure they've got enough room, and move on. Okay, let's get into this hive and just take a quick peek and see what they're doing. Not sure what I'm going to find, but we'll find something, that's for sure. Oh, glued it down. Just pretty typical. Well, not too bad. Let's see bees up here. Let's see what this next box looks like. Got a little bit of weight to it, but not tons. What I wanted to see is if they're drawing out some of these frames. I don't think these ladies have done too much. Nope. Nothing there. I can tell they're just starting to jump on these frames to get them drawn out. So they really haven't done too much. Yeah, just starting to get on them. They've got plenty of space. They don't need any more space. So I'm going to check the brood chamber just briefly, make sure there's no queen cells down there. I just tipped this box back. Let's see if we can turn you around here. And there were a couple of queen cups along the bottoms, but really nothing to be concerned about. They're just dry. They don't have anything in them. So I don't think there's anything going on that shouldn't be in this hive. It's looking good. The population's good. Just need the nectar flow to hit, and they'll be off and running. Let's take a quick peek underneath here and see if they're doing anything they shouldn't be doing. Okay, so I can see a few queen cups here, but there's nothing in them. Bees are calm. I don't think there's anything to worry about here. Looks just like the other hive. Population's good. Doing what they need to be doing. They just need some nectar flow to kick in, and we'll be off and running. This hive was supposed to be raising a queen. Let's see if they got the job done or not. If not, I'll grab that nook and we'll drop the nook on them and just nuke them. If they did, she should be laying by now. I did see a touch of EFB in this hive, so I gave them some shop towels treated with tea tree oil, camphor oil, and eucalyptus oil. And I think that's helping. I'm not 100% convinced yet, but I think it may be helping. They're nice and calm here, so they act like they're queenless. Queen right, I mean. Not seeing signs of a queen yet. Well, I'm not seeing anything that looks like a queen, or not seeing any eggs. Yeah, I don't see anything. I'm not seeing any eggs. I'm not seeing anything that looks like a queen. I suppose it's possible I still have a virgin running around here, but those are pretty hard to spot. The center of the cluster's right there, so I can see a little bit of cluster down below. I might have to go down below, make sure. Nothing that indicates a queen. I'm going to peek in the box below just to make sure, but my guess is if she was here, she'd be on this frame. I don't really see anything that looks like a virgin. I don't see any eggs. We've got a few queen cups on the bottom, but they don't have anything in them. There's just getting to be not enough bees in here. There's nothing really on the bottom. There's just getting to be not enough bees in here that I don't think they've, even if I gave them a frame of brood or a couple of frames of brood, I don't really want them. Oh, there's just a little tiny cluster right here on top. There's really nothing there. All right, we're going to drop that nuke in here and let that nuke take off and repopulate this hive. I think they're queenless, so I need to give myself some space here. Let's grab that nuke and we're just going to drop it right in here. I don't think there's going to be too much fighting going on here. All right, here's my nuke. I'm going to smoke them real good here. Now I'm going to have to shave this burr comb off. Look out, ladies. Come on. Okay. And she goes. I think maybe I'll pull out one more frame here for a second. We're going to put this nuke in here just as it comes out of the box. I'm going to keep the same order and the same orientation of all my frames. Boom. Make sure I've got my queen here somewhere. And she's not on this frame yet. I've got some good larvae down there, some good capped brood. This little nook's just about ready to take off. You'd think queens with green dots would be easy to spot, but her green dots just about wore off. She's right here. Wouldn't mind if she had a little better dot on her. So I'm going to see if I can capture her. This is my method of marking queens. Reach in, hold the queen, put her in the queen cage, Now I'll get my marker. Uh-oh. Can't find my green one. Get my marker. That's good. Push the plunger up and kind of get her to turn over. Get her in the right spot here so there we go, right there. Now she's got a good green dot on her. I'm gonna let her dry just a minute. And in the meantime, I can put this frame in. There you go, lady. Down she goes. All marked. This nook was just a little bit smaller than I would have liked for a customer, so I didn't sell the nook, and that's why I'm using it in my own yard. The queen's good, just a little bit behind. Now normally I would throw a piece of newspaper on there, but I'm out of newspaper. I didn't bring any with me, so it's just gonna get thrown back together. I think they're completely queenless anyway, and I don't think they'll bother that laying queen. That frame's broke, so that needs to go to the trash. Now you may think that's not the greatest plan to do it that way, but honestly, because the original hive didn't have a queen and has been queenless for quite a while, I'm not really worried about them accepting the new queen. I think they'll just finally go, oh great, we've got a queen, and they'll just move right on. And I doubt there'll be much fighting, or this hive's good to go again. This is a little bit smaller hive. They may not be doing as well. Pretty sure I put some shop towels on these as well. Yep. And they're kind of chewing on them, which is what I want to see. This hive had some chalk brood really bad. Let's see if we're still seeing that. That's a feed frame on the outside, as expected. Oh, that's a much better brood pattern than what she's had before. I'm not seeing the chalk brood like I did before. I was a little worried with this cold, windy, wet weather that they wouldn't be able to get themselves healthy enough to take care of the chalk brood. And maybe one little cell down in here that doesn't look right. That's looking much better though. Population's looking pretty good. Not like the other ones, obviously, but it Looks like they've kind of cleaned out whatever chalk brood they've had. This hive will definitely get requeened first thing this year as I raise queens. And I will not raise off of this hive just because I don't want to. I find that if I just replace the queens that's shown any sign of chalk brood, that usually the chalk brood just kind of disappears in the next round. And I'm going to take a quick peek on the bottom board. That's a place the chalk brood will definitely show up. I'm seeing a tiny bit of chalk brood mummies on the bottom, so we're going to dump those out just to help them clear that out of the hive. They are looking better, not the greatest, but they'll get requeened here in a bit. As soon as I raise a few queens, they're going to get requeened. Now, this has been a big, strong hive. Usually one of my better hives. So if anybody needs a super, it's going to be these ladies. That's got some in it, not full. I can see down in here they're just starting on this box, and I can tell from the weight there's not much going on there yet. Take a quick peek for queen cells. And these look exactly like the others. A few queen cups, nothing in them. These ladies look just like the other ones. Perfect. Just need that nectar flow to start. This yard seems to be a little bit behind the other yards of mine. And just like that, we've checked 8 hives and they're all, and requeened one, and we're ready to go. Okay, I'm in my next yard. If any yard's going to be needing honey supers, it's going to be this one. This yard's just been doing really well this year. And as you can see, I've left entrance reducers on my hives, and they're getting a little crowded and congested at the entrance, so I'm going to be pulling those off. I don't think they need them anymore. All right, let's see what we can find here. I don't know if these hives are going to need more space or not. That one's got a little bit of weight to it. Let's see what they're doing with this. This will kind of tell me what's going on in these hives. If these just look just like the other hives. If these look like the others, then I probably don't need to be checking all the hives. Oh, these ladies have filled that out and they're putting nectar in it. That's not the same as my other hives. Let's pull another one of these frames. See what it looks like. Wow, they've completely drawn that out and they're filling it with nectar. It's not full by any means, but they are definitely putting something in there. Let's see how heavy they are. Oh yeah, I'm thinking they could use another box. Let's do the same to these hives and just check the bottom for queen cells. Well, I don't see anything too concerning right there. I don't think these ladies are in any danger of swarming on me. And I think I could throw another super on there though. Okay. That's a second honey super for them. This is a hive I didn't think was going to make it last winter. They were just not a very big hive and a little bit light on stores, and I really didn't think they were going to make it through the winter. Oh, that box is heavy. Next box down. Oh, they're starting to put stuff in it. See, that colony's doing okay for one that I didn't think was going to make it. Lots of queen cells, but queen cups. Nothing in them. But they're full enough. I'm going to give them another box. And I am bottom supering these. I want them to feel that area right above that brood nest is still empty. Now this box isn't quite as full as some of the other ones have been, but this box is definitely full. Okay, we're in my last yard here. I've got 9 hives here today. This one right here in the middle on the pallet is one I brought out last night. It was in my home yard, and it's what I would call a grumpy hive. Not too thrilled about it. It's doing well, but its attitude's not the greatest. So I brought it out here, 1, just to get it away from my neighbors, and 2, I'm going to requeen it with one of the good queens from this yard, and hopefully that'll calm its attitude down a little bit. I've been chased around my yard a couple of times from bees and haven't even been near the hive, and I think this is the one that's the culprit. I need to check these 2 smaller hives and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. This one in the back here, I think is queenless, so I need to check it, make sure it's got a queen. This other one over here on the side, it was showing a little bit of European foul brood as well. So I think European foul brood is one of those diseases that I think it's in your hives all the time, and it just shows up when the hive is a little bit stressed and not doing as well as it could be. And then it just kind of manifests itself, and then things kind of spiral downhill after that. So I've put the blue shop towels with tea tree oil, camphor oil, and eucalyptus oil on them, and I've put those in the hives. And when I've done that, they're seeming to rebound a little bit and starting to look really good. So that's what I'm doing today. I don't expect these to be any different than what I've been doing for the rest of the hives. I expect maybe to super up a couple of these, maybe not. Then I'm gonna requeen this hive on the pallet, and we'll go from there. All right, finally got through these hives. Things were looking pretty good until I got to this big hive over here. They were in swarm mode, and so they had several queen cells that were loaded. They had one that was even capped, and so I went through that hive with a fine-tooth comb, found my queen, and I put her into a nook by herself, and I'm gonna pull her off and start another hive with her. Left a couple of queen cells in it, and then this little hive back here that I didn't think had a queen, I gave them a queen cell. And this hive here, that's my grumpy hive, I found the queen in there and killed her, and then dropped a queen cell in that one too. So all in all, that big hives gave me 3 queen cells, 3 good queen cells that I could repopulate these other 2 hives, leave one in the big one, pulled the queen, basically did an artificial split on her, and hopefully that hive decides, okay, we'll just raise the queen and we'll be happy after that. I think that's going to be the case. The rest of these hives were not in any kind of danger of swarming, and they don't need a super yet. So we'll wait till next time to give them a super. Hopefully the nectar flow starts to kick in the next week or 2, and we start getting some honey coming in. These bees from this hive are just not happy with me. It took me a while to find the queen, and I've got bees just buzzing me. They do not want to leave me alone, and that's why that hive's getting requeened. I just don't like their attitude. So I went through all these other hives, and as soon as I close up the hive, the bees just kind of leave me alone. But this one, these girls have just been all over me since I cracked the lid. So we're going to give them a new queen cell. Hopefully that'll take. We'll leave them alone for probably 2 weeks. The queen cell in here was capped, so I'm thinking they're probably not very far from emerging. You know, they're going to be 5 or 6 days, and then another 5 or 6 days for her to get mated and start to lay, 10 days. So in 2 weeks, maybe a little longer, hopefully I've got a new queen in there laying. And same with these other 2. The rest of them all look pretty good, but it's what I've done today. Just checking hives, super a few, and make sure they're not going to swarm on me.